for
Sorry.
yes.
It's all right. Yeah.
Yay! So we are live now. We
Okay.
are live, yes. So welcome, ladies, to Francis Page Media.
Oh, I got my Frankie Bear with me as well.
Yes, you better bring Frankie to the party.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'll
And
move my
Here we
chair.
welcome,
go. We are
Aspi.
live.
Yes, dear friends,
Hi.
we have got Aspi here with
Hold
us.
on one second. Let me just put the sound off on my tablet.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, I took the sound off my tablet, but I could see the
Yeah,
comments. Okay.
yeah. Hi, Promise. Good to see you. Hi, Foxy. It's nice to see you join us today, guys. Welcome aboard Francis Page
Hi,
Media.
everyone.
Yes. Hi, Catherine there. Thank you for joining
Hi.
us. Yeah,
Hi,
our usual
everyone.
guest.
Yeah.
Yes. So this is a live Royal News edition. I don't know how many editions we've done so far, Catherine, but we are so excited to have Aspe
Thank
come
you.
to join us today. Aspe is one of Francis Page Media strong followers. We
Yes.
have been with Aspi for God knows how long. You've seen
Quite a
us,
while. Quite a
yeah,
while.
from strength
Yes.
to strength to
Yeah.
strength. Your comments and thoughts you always share in the comments section are making a difference
Yeah.
to
I
the
try
group.
to be balanced and respectful, but truthful of what I think at the same time.
Yes, yeah. And also for the support you show to Catherine as well. Catherine has
Yes.
a channel, a
It's a
Very
great
Royal
much
channel.
so.
Australian. It's a
Yeah.
good
Oh,
channel.
you make a great contribution with your comments, Aspie. I always appreciate hearing from you.
Thank you.
Mhm. So there's a lot that has been
Yes.
going on in our royal news world. Where should we start from? Where should we start from? From Catherine, Princess of Wales, showing up to the tennis games recently with her family,
Yes. Yeah.
to the King as well, making appearances lately and hosting, youth summits at Windsor and at St James Palace, to Prince Harry staging that secret peace summit we saw recently, and that photograph being
Mm.
leaked.
Not
And
so secret
now,
anymore. Yeah.
yes, it's not secret anymore. And now Prince Harry all of a sudden popping up with Hello in Angola, and he's rubbing shoulders with government officials on a trip. He is being introduced as the Duke of Sussex, doing a lot for Hello, a charity that has been funded for years by the UK government, a government that he has been trashing, as we
Mm.
all know. So the big question is, what is going on in the world today? It is important we start from the good news, and that is Catherine, Princess of Wales,
Mm. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, and her return to Wimbledon with her family, Prince William and their two children. What are your thoughts about that showing up? I will start with Aspi.
Oh, the whole family, they're wonderful. The children are such darlings. When I see at least, and many people see Catherine William and the
Hmm.
children together, a smile just comes on my face
Yeah,
because they just radiate like such positivity.
yeah, yeah.
And it's just so wonderful to see them, especially what with Catherine went on, with her illness the past year. It's so great to see the whole family out in public.
And Catherine, what's your take about Catherine, Princess of Wales's appearance lately?
Oh, she radiates. She just has this inner radiance.
Mm,
You've got this feeling when Catherine walks into a room or into a setting, like in that case, a stadium. It just, the room lifts. She has this, you could see why William adores her, because her energy, she just has this natural energy about her that no one could ever imitate. Even some of the world famous top supermodels over the years, they don't come near Catherine
Mm.
because they're just clothes horse. Where Catherine, she is the natural clothes horse like Diana was, but she's so much more than that. she has this enormous depth about her, her spirit,
Mm.
her emotional intelligence. I think it just radiates, and you can see her connection with her children is real. They, when she's
Mm.
sitting there with her daughter and their fans, you can see there's this natural connection with the children. It's not forced, as in some cases you see whether the children have a good relationship with their parents or not. But with Catherine, oh gosh, I'm so happy to see her doing well. But I think we need to remember what she said, and I think it was her managing expectations when she said, and I'll finish on this point and I'll give it over to you, Francis. When she spoke about the journey that you're not the same and you have to manage your energy. And I think she knew she had these big events in front of her. So she managed expectations, in my view, very well.
She did indeed, and as we know, she's the patron for the tennis association,
Yes.
and she's been holding that position for some time now. And uh, many people can't just thank her any more than they already do
Yeah.
for the life she breathes
I,
into these games every time
I,
she
Francis,
shows
I noticed when she walked in to the
up.
stadium, people literally stop what they're doing just to look.
Mm,
Like,
exactly. Yeah,
Catherine's here. The
it's
Yeah.
the
family is
magic.
here.
Yeah,
It's
it's the
nice to see.
magic. It is indeed the magic she brings with herself to to everywhere she goes, and you can see that respect
Hmm.
for her, and the respect she carries us as well with herself, recognizing everyone, and
Yeah.
when she's greeting people
Hmm.
along the way, she
Yeah.
makes sure that nobody is ignored, if
Yeah.
that's the right word. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I noticed like with the ball boys and with from the tennis players to the ball boys to all the staff, like you were saying, shaking hands with everybody. It's really
absolutely,
nice to see.
very, and she goes beyond shaking hands to asking them how their life is. How have
Yeah.
you been? How is home? How is the heat?
Yeah.
She appreciates them standing there in that heat just to make sure everything goes well. So this is a woman who is very grateful and that puts others before herself. So she knows she's a royal, but when she arrives there, this is a different Catherine. It's
Yeah.
just a normal woman who turns up on the day. She doesn't want to sort of hijack people's spotlights. Even when she's handing over trophies to the winners on the day, you see her step aside immediately after handing over that trophy so that the winners on the day can have their stage.
Yeah.
So this is the sort of Catherine we have attending such royal events. Okay.
Yeah.
And she brings her husband, Prince William, to these events. Now, William usually takes the lead on these events, but moments like these are Catherine's moments because she's the patron of the tennis association.
Hmm.
Sure, Prince William also admirably falls back and lets the wife take the lead, as we saw
Yeah.
those
Definitely.
movements. Yes. So these are true royals who have mastered their art showing up at engagements like this. And this is why Catherine, Prince William are always going to be people's number one royals.
Yeah.
Mm, okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, and like Catherine said, she looked absolutely, she was in great health, wasn't she? Very
Yeah.
strong. This is the Catherine we see. There is no acting. Everything is so effortless.
Yes.
Hmm.
No, there's no acting like you said at all, Francis. She is who
No,
she is when she's
she's
in
who
public.
she is. Yeah. No, not, her counterpart, we know in Montecito, who likes to
Yeah.
act and take the
Definitely.
stage and pull the mics off people who are
Hmm.
supposed to hold it. Catherine is a very different woman. She's just so made for this role.
She is.
Hmm.
William couldn't have married a better woman. She is the perfect partner.
And that's what
And
everybody was saying, reading these popular feeds, that we're writing about Catherine's showing up. When you look at the comments section, everybody was sort of praising Catherine for being such a wonderful royal, for, thanking William for choosing very well.
yeah,
Okay.
Well, in his position, we've got an example of someone who's made a bad choice. Imagine if it had been the heir that had made the bad choice. It would
Mm,
have been disastrous for the monarchy, the
mm,
institution.
mm,
We've got a living example that's being played out on a daily basis,
mm,
24/7.
yeah,
mm,
And I mean, a lot of people believe that Catherine is saving the monarchy, that and she is a little bit, she's very much her own person, but you can tell that she's learned under the steady gaze of the late Queen. You can see the late Queen's influence on her, but she's still her own woman. I actually adore that woman. I, I see her and I just gasp every time. Same at the state dinner. I mean, Catherine in a tiara doesn't get any better than that, does it? She just is the
absolutely.
moment. She is the moment.
yeah, yeah. It's great you talk about that dinner there. Catherine again and Prince William playing a massive role in the visit of the French President Emmanuel Macron. And so William, Catherine went and fetched, the French president and his wife from the airport where they arrived. I think that was Northolt. This is an RAF base. And so Catherine Lee and Prince William sit in that motorcade that drives down to Windsor Castle. But it's the grace and elegance of these two receiving the French president. Emmanuel Macron and the wife couldn't believe how beautiful and very humble William and Catherine are. I don't know,
That says
Aspi.
everything.
Yeah, I don't know, Aspi, if in New York, you had this sort of visit talked about, and you saw those images. What did the New Yorkers think about William and Catherine
Um,
um,
I
for
mean, I
that?
was reading in the New York Post. There's an article
Mm,
and positive. I look in the comments after the article, very
mm,
positive, saying they do their duty, they don't complain, they treat people with respect,
mm,
and their royals have always been liked in New York. I mean, I remember I was
Mm,
very young when Princess Diana visited the hospital, the children's hospital with babies with HIV. That was
mhm,
all over the news.
mm,
And it was in the news when they came over.
mm,
So
mm,
it is covered. Um, some people make more of a fuss than others. Like
mm,
Americans that love the royal family, of course, very positive. But I was reading the comments, and even ordinary New Yorkers were like, these two don't complain, like unlike the other two who know
mm,
what we're talking about, that just
mm,
complain all the time about
mm.
everything.
About
mm,
everything, yes,
Mm.
yes. And you had William and Catherine come to New York a few
mm,
years ago.
Yes, I
Catherine,
remember that.
when was that? Yes. And there are rumors that William and Catherine could be heading back to New York at
I've heard
some
that
point
too.
this year.
Yep.
So please make sure
Oh, if they
you
come, I will do
position
my
yourself.
best to try
Yeah.
and get a glimpse. Absolutely.
Yes, because they registered the Royal Foundation for the Prince and Princess of Wales uh, in United States, and I think they will start to do some work with Heads Together, this mental health campaign. And it is very surprising that so many, campaigners and mental health charities in New York, United States, are already lining up
Hmm.
partnerships with the Prince and Princess of Wales when their work kicks off in United States. How nice
Yeah, it
to
is.
see
But
that.
I think Americans here, we know when someone is really cares about the cause and
Mm,
does their work and effort to it, while others, like the other DO, I like to call them, it's just about photo op.
Yes.
and getting on the front page and the front lines of the news. Them,
Mm-hmm.
it's just they're doing their duty, whatever cause or charity they're working with, and they
Mm-hmm.
do it and they excel.
And that's how things should be done,
Absolutely.
Yeah, serving people without any, intentions. Like we see Meghan Harry always doing things because there is a benefit, that there is something they want to get out of it.
It's money usually, but that's my personal
Money,
opinion. But
publicity, headlines.
yeah,
William and Catherine are very different to how they approach their, charity work. We have
yes,
seen that time and time again. And they come and they bring real change
yes,
to
they do.
the charities they visit. You hear they've donated this, or they've recognized this
Yeah,
and that, and when they step out, instead of sharing lots about them, they highlight more about the charities they are visiting, which
yeah,
is not what we see with the other two. And I think Catherine would agree with me on that, wouldn't you?
I do. I think to your point, Elsie,
Mm,
because I've spent quite a bit of time in the States. I have family in New York, and I find Americans really hospitable. And but for the most part, a lot of Americans, they see BS, they smell it when they see right through
hmm
that kind of stuff. And if they're interested in the royals, and unless they're paying real attention, they would just think, oh, the royals are doing their business. But I'm not sure that in the beginning, yes, Meghan was accepted, particularly after she got, in bed with Oprah, etc., etc. But Americans now, they just see right through it. They see it for what, and it's only been 5 years. That's not
mm,
five
yeah,
years is not a long time. And look at
It
their
is.
reputation now.
yeah,
Their reputation, particularly in Britain, but we're talking about America here. But you listen to people like Link Lauren and other American just commentators, YouTubers, Megyn Kelly,
yeah.
um,
Megan
Candace
Kelly,
Owens.
Mm,
Yeah,
she's good.
mm, mm,
She's
mm,
really good.
she's fantastic. And I've always liked Megyn Kelly, even when she was at Fox News, I liked her.
mm,
But Candace Owens has had she's had a few moments with, and I've never been a fan of Candace Owens, but they don't hold back. People are not holding it back anymore with Meghan and Harry. They've really cooked their goose because I don't see how they can pivot because Meghan can't change because her driver is just she's seething with jealousy, and unless she can change that, I can't see anything. And Harry is always insecure and um, upset about Queen Camilla. He's always upset about something. Harry has two speeds. He's either fuming and melting down, or he's asleep, zoned out. He's got just two speeds. But who can be bothered with them anymore? Come on,
I
People are
know.
getting bored. I know
yeah,
that they're getting bored. It's the same story every single day. It's
Every
boring
single
after a
day.
while
They're becoming extremely predictable.
and
So,
toxic, boring and
and
toxic.
toxic. Now, this is what I think. They sit down there and both hold notepads and pens, and they observe what the royal family is going to be doing for the next
Of course they do.
month, weeks, and they take note of the diary, the royal diary here. And then they start staging their own events, on the very days that royals are going to be stepping out here. And because they just literally want to sabotage. They also want to present themselves as the modern royals out there, representing the royal family. But clearly, we know they are not. And this is the thing now. they are taking advantage of the fact that they are still sitting on the royal family website.
Hmm.
Okay. And when you read the royal family website, I wish I could pull it up here, but if I pull those pages up, I think we'll get
I
the.
saw it a few weeks ago. I haven't seen it like very
Yeah,
recently, but they're still on it. I
yeah,
see
they're
them.
still on it, and somewhere down the lines, it says they are representing, His Majesty's work abroad. So this is giving them that leeway of going on with their pseudo royal projects because the royal family website gives them that platform, which is a shame really because they shouldn't be sitting on that website, especially with all the controversies
Hmm.
that they carry themselves with.
Mm.
Okay, we've talked about this time and time again. I know so many campaigners who have been trying to petition Meghan Markle, Prince Harry be pulled off the royal family website, but it seems like it's never going to happen. But this is the interesting bit. If you had visited the royal family website a few years back, I think 2019, 2020, when they
Mm.
got married, 2020 to 2021, late 2021, you would have seen Meghan Markle's profile on the royal family website with a bit of detail. Okay, so they will be
Hmm.
talking about her education. She went to Northwest University, she did this and she did that. She went for her internship working in Argentina for the US Embassy. All of that was written
They
on the.
said she was a feminist too. I remember
She's a
that also.
feminist. Yeah, it was all sat on the royal family website. But when you go back on the website now and look at Meghan Markle's profile and that bit of detail written underneath her profile, it looks like everything has been skimmed off, including her
Mm. Mm.
education, wherever she did her internship. So all of that has disappeared. And the only bit left there
Mm.
is about her TIG thing
Hmm.
and
Mm.
her role in Suits.
Yeah.
And now that they are working, they are with Prince Harry doing ABCD, literally a paragraph of not even more than 300 words.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think for us who are reading into these messages and visiting the royal family website, this is very telling of maybe a royal family that is starting to slowly start getting rid slowly of Meghan Markle's components on that website. Okay, so they probably don't want to do it all at once because that would cause a lot of, as you may know. But I think in the near future, we are going to see that profile of Meghan Markle slim up and slim to the slimmest it can get until she probably vanishes.
May I say something, Francis?
Please do.
I think King Charles wants a little bit of that open door
Hmm.
still for them. So I think in those little subtle ways, he's not completely cutting
Hmm.
Harry and Meghan off.
Hmm. Hmm.
I think it's the dad in him rather than the king. That's just
Hmm.
my that he wants to give him that little opportunity back, but he doesn't want to totally shut them off the royal website, even though many people disagree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I
And
ask you, Aspie, do you
Yeah.
think that do you think that it then becomes complicit and that gives them tacit approval with their commercial endeavors because
It's
that
hard.
website is up
Hmm.
there. That's their commercial. So do you think though that the public reads that as tacit palace
Yes, they
approval?
do. I mean, I read on YouTube, I read on newspaper articles with people's comments. I say the huge majority say, please, King Charles, get them off the website. But I think King Charles is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place
hmm.
of the king,
Hmm.
what the public is saying, and him as a father.
Hmm.
And if he takes them off the website, it'll look like maybe he's being like petty in a sense,
mm,
especially since they have two kids and they're
mm,
part of the line of succession.
mm,
Um, he doesn't want to look unloving and petty. I guess that's a good way of putting it. So I
mm.
think he's in a very hard spot, the king. I mean,
He is.
I tend to go with more. I'll be personally here with them getting them off the website because they add no value to the family at this point with all
Mm,
the stuff that they've done. But Harry is the king's son, and
mm,
Meghan is the king's daughter-in-law. They have two children,
mm.
so he doesn't want to completely cut them off. That's how I see it.
Yes, yes, you make a good point there. Uh, I know that there are other arguments put forward,
Mm-hmm.
such as, the royal family website is also a government website, if you
That's a
remember.
good point.
Yes. And so the government should always act in the public interest,
Hmm.
okay? Because they are serving the public. Now, if the public want something else and you are presenting something else, it means you're not listening to the public.
Hmm.
Everybody else out there really wants those to vanish off
Mm.
that royal family website because you cannot have people sat on that website who are constantly going on
Yeah.
about they are doing this, they
Hmm.
did this to us. You're dragging the government to court, suing them in the public courts of law, okay, and literally saying you don't agree with what the government is doing, basically. So, why would you have somebody like that fronted on these pages that are meant for people who are 100% on board?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
if I was a UK citizen, I think maybe I would be more like, oh, get them off that site
Yeah.
ASAP. Maybe because I'm American, I kind of see a little bit both sides.
Yeah.
But King Charles
Yeah.
loves his son. I'm not saying it's right, but he loves his son, and
Yeah.
he doesn't want to completely shut the door on him. And I guess the king thinks that if I take him off the website, that's completely shutting the door for the both of them. And then
Yeah.
I mean, relations are terrible right now between both parties. So, you know, it's
Yeah.
terrible no matter what.
I think it's embarrassing. I feel the problem is I learned something recently about the king that surprised me, that he doesn't see. Uh, a lot was made about the Queen, the late Queen, and Prince Philip. They always had the papers there, and they would read the papers every day, and thoroughly,
Hmm.
back to front, front to back, thoroughly. We
Yes.
know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we know that. Apparently, Charles doesn't do that. Charles reads only what he wants to read, and his aides understand that. He is not. Um, the point was being made in the article that I'd read was that consequently, the king is not as sensitive to public opinion, or as quick, is probably, he's not as quick to public opinion that the Queen may have been. The other
Mm.
thing is Tom Bower has brought this up in his book. He didn't write, it wasn't a very flattering portrait of the king, but he said that as well, that the king doesn't pay as much attention to public opinion as his late mother did, or at the time his mother was alive when that book was written. But I think, getting back to the website, that this is embarrassing. I just feel that you don't have former employees on your government website, on your business website, or on your corporate website, your media website. Whoever the employer is, that website represents their business today.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And you will have the history of your companies that have been around for for decades, and you'll even have notable employees highlighted up there, but they're not there as with all the rest of them. They're not
Mm.
there. I feel it's highly embarrassing, and I feel it's out of order. That's my view. But when I read that, I only read that a few days ago. The king is not as invested in reading the papers quite the same way the Queen were and Prince Philip.
Elizabeth is. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
It's a,
Catherine, do you think though that the aides tell him the truth though?
no,
Like,
they only no. This is what Tom Bauer. This is the point. Sorry, I didn't clarify that.
okay.
They that was the point that Tom Bauer made, is that the aides only tell Charles. He has a history of this. Tell Charles only what he wants to hear, and
Hmm.
in fact, he's even fired aides
Mm,
that have pushed through with, trying to tell him. He has a record of this.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that. That I didn't know.
yes. So it's
Hmm.
only this was not something I thought I'd be bringing up, but only that I read that the other day. I thought I'll have to go and look at some of Tom Bauer's articles and read that book, because that's the problem. The problem is not as in tune with public opinion. He's not as sensitive to it as the Queen was. See, look at the way the Queen came down from Balmoral. She was doing what she believed was right when Diana died. She looked after her grandchildren and cared for them. But when public opinion she was shocked. She was
Hmm.
shocked at the rise of public opinion. Um, why is the flag not at half mast?
Hmm.
Where is our Queen? Oh my God, I feel emotional talking about the Queen.
yeah.
They
Yeah,
were
I miss
saying,
her.
where is our Queen? Where is our
Yeah.
Queen? She came down. Now, when you look at footage, and the Queen bowed when Diana's coffin, the procession was passing. Margaret didn't. Margaret was stoic. Margaret did not like Diana, and you could see it. But the Queen honoured Diana when her procession passed her, because she was responding. She was shocked. The
Hmm.
Queen was shocked that the crowd, that her public, she'd never had that kind of outcry to deal
Mm,
with previously. But Charles doesn't have the same sensitivity as the Queen. That's the
mm,
difference.
mm.
Do you
I,
think maybe that's because he became king at a much older age and he's so set in his ways that it's kind of like my way or the highway kind of,
mm, mm,
Catherine? Or,
I think it's because he did come so late
yeah,
mm,
to the role. But who wants to? I mean, he adores his mother. You can see that. And
yeah.
then in an interview, William does say, he was asked about, when you come to the throne, are you looking forward to it? How do you feel about it? And he said,
Hmm.
that's a difficult question to answer, because you stepping into that job means the death of someone that you hold dear.
Yeah,
And so there is that element, and that's the complexity of the royal family, right? Any royal
yeah.
institution. But I also think, and I think I can see he's mellowed a bit. This is not very complimentary, so I'll I'll temper it a bit. But I think he thinks he knows better.
mm,
I
mm,
think he has got that, and I see that there. And when his mother was visiting Russia, and it was a very important state visit, his book came out,
mm,
and he spoke about his upbringing, and it was not very flattering. I think that the pragmatist in Prince Philip just felt, well, this is what he needs. He's going to be an heir, but maybe they should have revisited that. I think someone today would take probably a different view and see that he was very unhappy there. But that book, when it came out, overshadowed the Queen's visit, her state visit to Russia. So
mm,
Hmm.
I think, see, this is where Harry gets it from. Harry doesn't understand why they're all upset with him, because some of the moves he's making, the moves that his mother's made, well, it didn't work out very well for his mother, but also moves his father's mate. Now, his father has to live with that book also, but it was launched and it came out on the eve of, and it overshadowed the Russian state visit, and his mother was furious.
Hmm.
So I think the problem I think the king had was he didn't have a role um, until he finally had his role. But I also think there's an element of he thinks he knows better. He does. He actually does, and that's problematic for someone who's waiting to step into the big job,
Mm,
which I think is the reason why the Queen held on as long as she did, because the Prince of Wales, he could get away with vocalising some of his political opinions, but you can't do it when you're at the monarch. But we
mm,
see he still does. You see,
yeah.
because these are his legacy items. So
Mm,
this is why Harry is the way he is, and I've I've run out of sympathy for Harry. I had a lot of sympathy until recently. I can't stand it anymore. But I think that I've got still got a lot of empathy for the king because of his cancer, because he's dealing with a son who wants to come back, and he does. He's
I
made
think so
that
too.
clear. He's made
mm,
it clear he wants to come back.
mm,
Well, it's a Gordian knot, and I don't think it should be left. I don't think the dirty work should be left for William.
But I
mm,
think it's going to be left though,
mm, mm.
because like I said, before, I think Charles is stuck in the middle, being
Yeah,
king and being a dad,
yeah,
father,
yeah.
dad.
Mm,
Um, Even though knowing what Harry's doing to him and
yeah,
his family is terrible, he's
yeah.
still my son, and
Mm,
I love him.
mm,
But it's like that balance of being, how can I say, like almost like the king disciplinarian. You can't act this way, Harry,
yeah.
but I love you at the same time too. So
Mm,
it's I don't envy the king at all having to deal with
yeah.
him.
He's trying to find that balance of not coming across as a very harsh dad. But also, I think this Prince Harry problem is a big one. I think in this
Yes.
21st century, it is the biggest challenge that the royal family has faced in recent times. And so for King Charles, of course, he came onto the throne. We always knew there are going to be challenges, okay? Because when you come after the best of the best, okay, the question is always, will you be able to fit into those big shoes? And clearly, so far, okay, you can applaud King Charles for coming this far because everybody thought, it's going to be a bit of a push. And we have seen his ratings go up from, they used to be as low as
61.
40 to now
Yes.
61.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
61%. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about 32 now think negatively about him. And I think that 32 is coming around the way he has managed this Prince Harry problem here, and the
Yeah.
Meghan Markle.
I'm shocked at that 61. I didn't think it would. That's pretty high,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
because he's still quite controversial. But I'm
yes,
surprised. I'm surprised, but it's good news.
it's good news. So you can say that he has actually done well because
Mm,
Prince William and Catherine sit around 72, 73. So so it's still
Mm.
it's not too far off, William and
mm,
Catherine.
mm,
So if he handles this Harry and Meghan issue,
mm.
well going forward, maybe that we'll see the ratings climb up a bit more. But I don't think he is going to do what people want here. And as Aspia said, he's trying to find that balance. Should I please everybody else, or should I just go back to my, me being a father and I behave like a father would have behaved, and just look at my son as one of the naughty ones I have. And in every family, there is that naughty child. And if And if you if you can, if you remember, all of us growing up, our parents used to love the naughty children more than the good ones, and you wonder
Oh,
why. Okay,
oh, it's infuriating. It's
and
infuriating.
you
But
find
I
out,
think
for
it must be
example,
infuriating for William because he's doing everything
yeah, he's doing
right,
everything
and him and
right,
his wife,
yeah,
and all
and
the
then
attention's going to the wayward brother
yeah,
who's
and then you
doing
find
nothing but causing drama and trouble.
And I think this is what we are seeing in William right now. I think he's saying, right, this is my dad's reign. Okay, so I'm gonna zip up. Let my dad do whatever he wants to do in his reign. I won't sabotage because
Hmm.
it's not my time yet.
Mm.
But I'm quite sure behind the scenes, William is like, I just can't wait to sit on my throne. Everything will change. And
I
Well,
I,
would be. I
well,
yeah,
would
I read
be.
somewhere that William is like kind of the disciplinarian Prince Philip role, that the role that
y-
Prince Philip used to have. He's more
Yes,
of
yes,
like
yes.
that role now,
oh, yes,
enforcing, you know,
oh,
rule.
yes.
I don't know, not rule, but like just family stability, I guess. That maybe that's a better word of putting it. That keeping
Mm.
things stable in the family.
Keeping things stable. And he's quite a few times he's come out, William, and answered questions being asked by the press when he steps out. So they said, William, they asked him, is the royal family a racist?
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
And he responded, he looked back and said, we are very much not a racist family. For me, that was really telling of
Hmm.
somebody who cannot just sit there and look at people trashing or doing things he doesn't like without him speaking up. So he has
Mm.
already given us a glimpse of who he will be when he sits in. And time again, we've read through papers that, there has always been that scuffle of whether they should let Andrew Prince Harry on the balcony during royal events like King's birthday parades, the Platinum Jubilee,
That
and
won't ever happen.
and supposedly it was William who was being tough and say, if they stand on
Hmm.
that balcony, I'm not gonna stand on it. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think we have seen glimpse of a young man who is going to be a very strong king, I mean,
Mm.
future king in making tough decisions. And that's what you need to see
Yeah.
in a leader, because leadership comes first. Whether
Yeah.
it's if you're a major general leading a war and your wife tells you, oh, you can't do this or do this, you will put the war first and then come back later to what your wife is telling you. Okay, so I was in a classroom. I remember this because when I was growing up, my mom used to be a teacher. And so we used to, you know, at home, okay, we used to have these, we used to mourn a lot with our mom. Okay, why are you not doing this for us? And you're
Mm.
doing it for your students. And when they ask you questions, you listen to them more than you listen to us when you come back at home. And our mom said, right, I'm doing my job. Okay,
Mm.
when these students fail at school, they will come back to me. Okay. So I have to make sure those students pass fast before, because I'm the one answerable to you, my children, but I will be held accountable by the school if those students fail. So our mom made that difficult decision of, right, I'm going to allocate much of my time and my decision making to suit the people
Mm.
that I'm serving, find a way of what? Sorting out the rest. And this is what a strong servant leader wants to look like. You listen to people, serve people's interests first before yours. So this is where people are looking at, the 31% we see who are thinking negatively about the king. This is the reason they are looking at him as weak, because he has failed to make those very difficult decisions that leaders need to make, like get them off the website, stop sharing those links, because clearly when you look at the royal family website, you will see a link shared to sussex.com. Okay, this is their link right now. So it's more like the royal family website is being used to advertise Meghan Markle's
Yeah.
work, which is
Oh,
not
oh.
serving the British public or the Commonwealth at all. Now that's very wrong, isn't it?
Mm.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
look, it's just infuriating. I find it because the thing is, it feeds her narcissism.
mm,
That's the problem. This woman is really sick. She's really demented, sick puppy, right?
Absolutely.
And you've got everything is about money for her. I don't think I've ever seen anyone in the public space
Mm.
so obsessed with money to the point there are articles out there saying, "Oh, she's planning to be a billionaire." What a lot of garbage, you know. You've blotted your copybook, girl, because of the way you've treated Harry. No billionaire's going to touch you with a 10-foot pole, you know. All you're ever going to have is this ginger, you know, like. But this woman, everything is money, 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 and yet this link on the royal family feeds that narcissism. I think if you took that away, just take that out, people would be happier. I think it would quell the peasants. I think it would calm us down, you know. Just take that off the website because all they're doing is feeding her fantasies, you know.
mm,
But apparently, you probably read this as well. Apparently, Catherine has said she would give anything for Meghan to be successful at just one thing, to be a successful entrepreneur, because then it might stop her from lobbing bombs across the pond. I don't think she'll ever stop doing that because she's, as you rightly point out, Francis, they're sitting there with, you know, a
not bad
shorthand
and pen.
pad and pen and writing down everything, and then they're responding. How pathetic! How sick are these
But you know
people?
what, Catherine? Without the royal family, Meghan would be nothing. She'd be
Yeah,
nowhere.
Of
She would still
course,
be a, well,
of
now she's in her 40s,
course.
a struggling actress in Hollywood. Nobody would know who she was at all.
I
Barely
didn't
anyone knew in
know.
the first place. So
Exactly. I didn't know who she was
I didn't either. I never even watched
until Prince
Suits.
Harry's
Never.
announcement. Yeah, I didn't even know Suits existed. You know,
And, you know, her products, she's saying it's flying off the shelves, that it's sold out, but it's like, how many products were even sold in the first place? You know,
don't even get us
like
started
how
who
do
on
you,
those
believes
so
that
you
products.
don't,
crap?
it's like a facade, but it's like a facade that it's total
Don't even get
nonsense.
us started on those products, Aspi.
I heard they're terrible. Allegedly, I haven't
Listen
tried
to
them
you,
myself, but
Francis.
you know,
Those are products. I
but
mean, who even buys them? Who
the thing
buys
is,
them?
like all the stuff she's doing, I do feel it's kind of like dragging down the royal family's name a bit
Yep.
because
Yep.
it's
Exactly.
cheapening
Exactly.
what's,
Exactly. Look
you
at
know, the
that
royal
video
family
of
is.
them dancing. Look at the video of them dancing, doing the
It's very
Oh,
vulgar and crass,
awful.
very
terrible.
embarrassing, very terrible. You wouldn't get Catherine Princess of Wales to do something like that. Not a
But that's
chance.
what I'm saying. They're like dragging down the royal family with
Mm,
this stuff like
yeah,
this.
yeah. Because everybody's like, right, okay, so who is everybody? So that video was viewed by how many millions of people out there? And everybody who was viewing it said, who is that? Meghan Markle, let's go. Who is she? Royal family. Actually, go on the royal family website. Oh, she's a British royal family member? What?
I
So,
know here in the States, it was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Like people rolling their eyes for the most
yeah.
part.
Well,
So,
all
what,
she
Deborah?
succeeded
Yeah.
in, well, all she succeeded in doing is fueling the so-called conspiracy theories about
Yeah.
her pregnancies.
Hmm.
She did not like because she's such a narcissist. She thinks, oh, I think it's had over 30 million views. Oh, everyone knows me. I'm successful. I'm successful. No, she is just added fuel. Imagine if she had done that when Yankee Wally was raising questions about this back in the day before she was cancelled. I mean,
Yeah.
she's back with us now,
Hmm.
but the one person who really hammered this home was Yankee Wally.
Right.
Mm,
Imagine if Meghan
And
had
Ashley from Danger Zone,
released that.
both of them.
Yeah, oh,
mm.
she was
Ashley from
fantastic.
Danger
I
Zone
loved
too.
her.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, those
Hmm.
girls,
Hmm.
they were so brave.
Yes, very brave.
No wonder she was cancelled, and no wonder poor Ashley's house was burnt
Well,
down.
she
Yeah.
passed away too. She
She
passed
Yeah.
away
did. She's
also.
very ill. But
Oh, yes.
But
I mean,
you know,
people are going, "What is that?"
this is
What
yeah.
is yeah.
Hold on one moment. Sorry. One
Yeah.
second, guys. What are you
Yeah.
eating?
So Catherine, you're right. Absolutely right. That it for Meghan Markle, it doesn't bother her whether it's people are gonna like it or not. What she's mostly interested about is getting the visibility, the
And
view,
money.
and the
And
money,
money. But
the
I think
headline.
also, how much money can you really be making if it's such a limited supply of stuff that
Exactly,
she sold? To
exactly.
me, it must not really make a lot of money. It
I,
more like clout. I don't know. It's just
and there's
nonsense.
a big problem with that aspect because if you build a brand, okay, around controversies like theirs, the brand can only get that far. And look at what they are doing now. Prince Harry, no matter what great things he's going to be doing, and no matter how he comes across as is on a charity mission now, he's done this. Even if he gets kids onto his back and carries them through a flood and all of that,
Mm.
nobody is going to look at them the same way they used to look at Harry when he was still serving here back in the days, because they have already shown their true colors.
Yes.
Whatever they are doing now, people are interpreting that as pretense,
Hmm.
as there is a motive behind it. Uh,
Yeah.
he's now in Angola as we speak right now
Yes.
for the, is it Hello
The Halo
Trust?
Trust. Yeah.
Yeah, this organization has been there for a long time. They are clearing landmines and fields and sensitizing people in Angola, okay, and about public safety. Princess Diana walked the landmine fields, that famous walking with all the
Mm.
gear that she
Mm.
had. 28 years later, Harry's back to retrace the feet of
Mm.
that everybody is looking at this as there he goes again. He's
Well, I think, Francis, I don't
photo.
mean to interrupt you, but from when I remember when Princess Diana went, the war had just ended
Yeah,
in Angola. So there was a lot of landmines that were still around.
yeah.
While now it's 28 years later, and it's it's
So the
still a
video is not
problem, but not like
relevant.
how it was with when
Yeah,
Diana
so
was
it's not
alive.
relevant at all. What Harry's just done, walking, tracing his mother's footsteps, is not relevant right now because that is not a big problem right now. There are more
Hmm.
bigger issues in Angola than
Yeah.
Harry parading around this street, with gear on and
Hmm.
landmines. He's not sending any messages out other
Yeah.
than I want to get that picture
Hmm.
taken, flooding the headlines. Okay. Now, Camilla's birthday was recent, but see how
Hmm.
all these photos and images have overtaken Queen Camilla's official birthday. Nobody probably now knows that Camilla's birthday or have seen even a picture because the media has been flooded with this Prince Harry image of him walking in Princess Diana's footsteps.
Yeah.
That is what Harry and Meghan Markle want. Okay, being on the front page.
Hmm.
And it is very surprising how they want to use the media when it suits them, okay, to portray their
Hmm.
images. But when the media is talking about them, they don't want any of those things to surface. So you are looking at two very inconsistent, very controversial figures. Nobody, trust me, is ever going to look at them with seriousness.
Hmm. Well, I know he went a couple of years ago when Megan and him were in Africa. He
Hmm.
went, I believe, to the same spot. I believe Was there
Yeah,
like
yeah, they did. Yeah, in
right?
2019.
Yes.
Was it
I mean,
2019?
right.
That
That
was the last time they
yes, I
visited.
believe so. Yes, but I think
Yes,
that was a little emotional because Harry
because
was going back to where his
exactly,
mother did
absolutely.
her work with Halo Trust.
Yeah.
But now it's a few years later. It's like,
And the
why?
fact that he's just been thrown into this all of a sudden. Okay, so we haven't seen Harry talk about Halo Trust with with great magnitude like he has been presented now. Okay, he
Mm,
went, got lost in California, doing all of this work of his spare Netflix, did nothing to support these campaigns, at least in our eyes. Okay, but all of a sudden he pops up, and he's popping up straight after this leaking of photographs and the secret meeting,
mm-hmm.
which is very telling because other people are starting to think that was that meeting actually as well having something to do with negotiating Harry going to Africa to as a testing ground for him to
Hmm.
be coming back to royal duties, sort of
Oh,
half in, half out.
I agree with you. I'm 100% behind that thought.
Yes,
Yeah,
be-
because he
because
was at a reception at the embassy in Angola.
with all the officials,
Yeah,
government
yeah.
officials, that
What's
reception was
going on?
hosted. Yeah,
Well,
that
you know what? I
reception.
just thought of something. Maybe if he does come back, then he gets that IPP status back. If he goes
Yeah.
back into the royal family,
So it's
and I think he's missed. That's one of the of many things he's missing. Not being in the UK, having that status that
hmm,
everyone drops what they're doing just to meet you and listen to you, and people just don't want to listen to him anymore. So maybe he thinks, among other things, if I go back to my family, I'll be somewhat important again.
yes, and
Mm-hmm.
you make a very good point there, Aspi, actually, and also as their projects are starting to run dry
Yeah.
in California, so he's looking afar, with where his brand is heading. He's lost all this, reputation is gone with charities. His Center Ballet charity. I don't even know what's going on with that charity now.
It
Since
hasn't been in the news.
yeah, it hasn't been in the news,
I
so I
don't
don't
know
know
if
how
they
it
paid
was
people off. Maybe
squashed
they paid her off.
exactly. So
Maybe.
all
I don't
these
know.
partnerships he's been having with all these charities have all ended very badly, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of mismanagement, and
Yeah.
so there are no donors that are coming forward to support the Archewell and all of these, charities Meghan and Harry are running.
Mm,
I think Harry here is smelling a rat. He's like, okay, so if I
Mm-hmm.
don't really push for going back in and start reconnecting, before everything crumbles down on me, I'm in
Mm-hmm.
great trouble. But it could also be because he doesn't know, like he always asks, how long his father has got to live. So he's got to come back in somewhere, somehow, and
mm,
get stuck in activities here, closer to his dad, so that when decisions are being made, he's here, he's with him
Mm-hmm.
somehow, so he's not overlooked. He's being very clever here, this
Well,
man.
I
you may
think it's a
disagree. Go
clever
ahead. I'm
move.
sorry, Catherine.
No, I think it's a very clever move. The Halo, you may have seen this. Um, Angelina Jolie was involved in the Halo Trust, and she withdrew from it and she made very public statements about the trustees were getting too much money. They were getting over £500 a day.
Mm,
So the Halo Trust is already tainted, right? But I think this is about half in, half out.
mm,
And if he can do it before his father dies, it's going to be harder for William to get him out. He's thinking at the moment, he's got Fergie's back. Why shouldn't
mm,
I be back? Fergie
mm,
goes to church.
mm,
Fergie's involved at family functions. Why
mm,
shouldn't I be back? That's what it's all about. But
mm,
that Halo trust is already tainted. It's already
mm,
and it's it's during Harry's stewardship. You know, this is all. Every time Harry's involved in something, that's
It
what you
crumbles.
get.
It crumbles. This is going to be the starting point of that charity
Mm.
crumbling, and the scrutinies will start soon. And people will start unsubscribing, from the charity itself. Because if a charity loses public support, that's it. It's gone. Okay,
But
but
you
this
know what?
Mhm.
I, you could disagree with me. I do think Harry does want to come back, and Charles is trying to get him back in. That's just how I feel.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
That's kind of
agree.
I.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
kind of slowly those little like his publicists and the palace publicist meeting. Some people say it's money. Some people say he wants to come back in. Their meeting, I think it's more he wants to come back in, and Charles
yeah.
will let him in. That's just how I feel.
He's
I
seen
know a lot
what
of
he's
people won't
been
like that, but
missing, isn't it? He's seen what he's been missing. This is when
yeah,
he sees William, Catherine at the center stage of activities, and all the
not having to
conform
worry about money. That's another
and where
thing.
he is,
Everything's taken
yes.
care of.
But the most disgusting thing here is that he comes back in as if nothing happened, as if he did nothing at all, and it's just simply let him just like that, without
Well,
without issuing those public apologies and at least taking
well, if he wants the
responsibility
public
for
ever to have a sliver of sympathy, I believe for him, he needs to make like a public apology, him and his wife, which
Yes.
I
they
Yes.
both of them, not just
exactly
him, saying
absolutely
I'm sorry for calling the family unconscious bias, race, however you want to say that. I'm sorry for writing that book. I'm sorry for that Netflix documentary where, I trashed the family. They have to, both
exactly
of them must apologize.
they must absolutely, and this is where people are very unsatisfied with seeing him where he is today, because they think he what Harry asks, Harry gets, no matter how long it takes. Okay, so he had asked to have 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Right.
That Balmoral summit, before they left, said no. The Queen said no, no
Mm-hmm.
halves in, no halves out.
Yeah.
Is back here, and it looks as if it's half in, half out now granted to him. We haven't seen it. You see, people have no problem with Harry coming back. Okay. The problem is Harry needs to show that whatever he has been doing was
Excuse
wrong.
me.
He needs to show, he needs to apologize. And we have been talking about this with Catherine time and time again. The royal family will lose public support if Harry is simply let back in as easy as he has started coming back in. It's very
Well, it's
disrespectful.
like when a spoiled child gets their own way. That's
Okay.
how I say. If there's no accountability, it's
Yeah.
just, oh, he's just getting his own way, like he always has, like his entire life, I'm sure.
Yeah. And what about the trust issues that he's been carrying out? Trust, because trust
Yeah.
is the other thing. So they go away, they sit on Oprah Winfrey interview and start releasing all over these bits, the dirty laundry that we shouldn't hear about. So he's back in. What if he falls out again? And what is he not going to say? What else? Okay. What if things don't work out and we have a Harry who goes back out again? And this, I think, will be the end of everything, for the monarchy. So we are
Well,
hoping they are taking these steps very carefully. We are hoping they are being very thoughtful in whatever is going on with this Harry thing. And we really hope that this Harry visit to Angola has nothing to do with being sent there on a ticket of representing the UK government and the royal family. We really hope so, because otherwise, if he's there for the UK government and the royal family, that support people have been having for the royal family will trickle down. It is going to be like a big slap in the face. Yeah.
I think you're
Well,
right. I think that this is really high stakes what's going on. I don't think I know it's this is a rolling story as they call it, um, but I think it's high stakes, and I do believe the king wants him back, and I will go so far as to say the king wants him back any which way. And we're insisting on a public apology. Others will insist on a public apology within the royal household, but the king will have him back any which way because he's sick. He's a sick
Mhm.
man.
Mhm.
Like I don't, when I say he's sick, he's got cancer. He's an
Yeah.
elderly man. He's got cancer, and he's worried about his son. And no one can blame him for that. As you said at the top of the show, Aspie, we understand why the king feels the way he does, but I feel that this is a huge mistake on the king's part to be bringing him back and to be grooming him publicly the way he is. Because let's not forget, the palace agreed to that meeting. They
Mm.
agreed to hold that meeting. And all he needed was to be associated and to have the king's approval over him in one way or other. The king couldn't have a full frontal meeting with him. But if this was legitimate, it was all PR optics. If this was a legitimate rapprochement, they would have been hiding down in a car park with ski masks on. You
Mhm.
know, it's
Well,
I'm being dramatic in my
uh-huh.
imagery, but this is all part of bringing him back. That's my view.
Well,
You're
remember
right.
when
You're
Princess
right.
Diana died and people never thought that Camilla would never be ever
Yes.
accepted? Look where she is now.
Yeah, yeah.
Look where she is. She's the queen. She
You're
married
very
But
right.
Charles.
and
Yeah.
look how Harry has kicked her off the front page with her birthday.
Yeah.
And let's remember the next Invictus Games, it clashes, the last day clashes with the Queen's 80th birthday. That is by design.
Well, it's
Mm,
spitefulness on his part. He's
yeah.
It
spiteful.
is
And
by
Meghan and they're both
design.
spiteful.
And
Yeah, yeah.
that's what the king is courting. The
Mm,
king is courting that. And you be sure William will not tolerate this. He will
No, he
not.
won't.
He won't
I,
tolerate. That's why Harry is so desperate now because he really does not know how long the king has. He is not privy to all of this sensitive information, and he wants back in any which way now. And the king is what's the word? He is accommodating it. The
yeah.
king wants him back, but he's gonna. This is what he's gonna get. He's gonna
Well, this
get
is the question, Catherine.
constant.
Mm.
Will Meghan come back? That's my question.
That's the
No.
big question there. That's
Will
a
Meghan
big
come back?
question. Because if Harry comes back, if Harry is let back in, then Meghan Markle should be let back in as well. Because these two people have been running projects as a double, as Meghan and Harry, those projects. So the royal family will be looked at as double standards if they simply let Harry back in and leave Meghan Markle out. That is not
Hmm.
going to look, if, well, so if they are prepared to let Harry back in, so should Meghan Markle be back in, because these two come as a package. And they are still
I
the
don't know how
dual.
that's going to happen.
Not going to happen. So they are putting themselves in a very difficult position here. Okay. And if Harry is let back in, and then we see elements of Harry not wanting to go back to his wife, guess what Meghan Markle is going to say? They have turned my husband against me.
Hmm.
That is
Good
going to
point.
further damage the reputation of the royal family. So that is why I'm saying they really need to be very careful with how they are
Hmm.
parading this Prince Harry behavior and
Hmm.
accepting him back and sending him on to trips and all of that. What will happen if Meghan says, I want to come and go with Harry to this royal visit? Say if they send Prince Harry somewhere on a royal visit for his next one, because I'm looking at this Angola trip for Harry as a trial. They are sort
Hmm.
of testing the waters for him. after this, when they see, oh, the public has actually not done much than saying, talking this and that here and there, I think we can now slowly start to present him into more bigger projects, and we could see a
Exactly,
happy.
They did the
Francis.
same way with Camilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
They did it with her too.
So problem is now Meghan Markle will now say, okay, I'm also going with, just like you see William go to this place with Catherine. I'm still married to Harry. How are they going to handle that? Okay. So I think the path they've taken with Harry is not carefully planned. This is very too soon, too early for her, for Prince Harry back in. Reconciliation conversations have not even taken place meaningfully, because we have just seen the king's representative, Harry's representative out having a coffee, and we were reading in the papers that this was just a casual meetup, which signifies that maybe the path to reconciliation is about to happen.
I wonder if they
Then
met in the
before it
palace
happened,
first, though.
Harry's out representing, the royal family, and
But
so
I wonder, Francis, I wonder if they met in the palace first, then they went out for coffee afterward, or were they just,
well, as far as I know, this is the only actual, because we have been reading around a lot with Harry making phone calls, going unanswered. The
mhm,
king has been busy, can't entertain Prince Harry anymore.
right?
Harry held that BBC interview only
Yeah.
weeks ago, in
Yes,
which
not
he
too
told,
long ago.
in which he told all of us that have been trying to sort of reconcile with my family. They are not letting me do so. He even went ahead and criticized his father for
Mm.
manipulating this court case thing, in which Harry wasn't given the police security, and he was
Mm. But
Harry now to start being recognized in Angola, meeting the president at a residence hosted by the British Embassy, this is His Majesty, the government's representative in this foreign nation.
Exactly.
Harry shouldn't
That's
be
yeah.
stepping there at all.
But I actually believe there's no way he could be there unless the king was in agreement with it because it's an embassy. It's
Hmm,
I don't I think I I think that the king is playing a very dangerous game, and the one who will suffer will be the king because he's at 61%, which is really, really good. But
hmm.
the public sympathy for Harry is the antipathy is very high. They don't want him back. It is really like it's so high. I haven't got the figures in front of me, but I think the king is going to pay a price with his reputation because he is being disrespected in public by his son on BBC interviews. And then the next minute, he's in a British embassy in Angola and he's kicking his wife's birthday off the front page of British newspapers. This
Absolutely.
is what the king is agreeing to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And wait, there's music coming very soon, because you know what is going to happen now? People are going to say, bring back Andrew. You're gonna
Very well put,
yeah, you're
Francis.
gonna
that
bring
is that's a
back
good point.
Andrew. Yeah, yeah. Because in these double standards, you can't be bringing back one and you let the other one out. So you may as well bring back Andrew. You may as well bring all of them back.
But I think Francis, I think Harry really wants that security because like he has to pay so much money for security every year and he wants that IPP status. Because if he gets that IPP status,
Hmm,
people that who are critical of him online or YouTube or whatever, you have more power to shut people down. And they get so much criticism,
hmm.
understandably, all the time for their antics, but they want to silence people too. I think that's a part of it also. He wants that control.
Is
And
he's
he
gonna
doesn't have that control.
and is sadly as things are going now, I think he's gonna get all of that because you can't have him visit the Angola under the presence of the British
Hmm.
government going to these places, and you fail to present him with security when he comes knocking on the door
Right.
asking for
Who
it.
paid for it? That's my next question. Who paid for
The
that
British,
security?
it's the British public,
Yeah.
and this organization is nearly enough, all of it funded by the British government. This Hallow charity
Hmm.
is funded by the British government.
Yeah.
So for
I
Harry to
wouldn't.
be involved in their projects as they have presented him like this, surely should have been given a yes by the government. So this
Hmm.
is literally Harry who's back in. This is how I'm
Right.
looking at
He
him.
is.
This is Harry who's
Actually,
back in. Yeah.
he's
He's
in
all over
through
the
the back
front
door.
page. Yeah. He's
He
allowed to
came
wear
in
that
through
Princess
the
Diana
back
gear.
door.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
him.
it's so infuriating.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, it is infuriating because the king wouldn't have agreed to him being in the in an embassy in Britain. He wouldn't have
Hmm.
agreed to that because he knows enough about the public sentiment to understand. But he's in an embassy in Angola, right?
And Angola.
No,
Yeah.
no. And
Well,
he's come
some
in through the
people.
back door.
Absolutely. Some people might say, okay, Angola is not a member of the Commonwealth. Okay, we get it. We get it. But the fact that there is a British embassy, just like there's a US embassy in
Hmm.
every country, every country is, sends representatives there. But the fact that he has gone to this gathering, this meeting, a reception, which has been hosted by the British Embassy. It means it's been fully invited.
Hmm.
That's what it is. So, this is a man who is back in, I think. This is having
That's
But
what
I
I
think
think.
hearing this, it's almost like they're justifying his faux. Remember when he made those faux visits to like Nigeria? What was the other place?
yeah, in
Colombia.
Colombia.
It's
Colombia.
almost like saying, "Oh, that's fine. You're back.
Yeah,
You're back."
okay.
I don't
And I
like that
think,
at all.
yeah, so at least those trips, he went there and he visited as a Harry.
Hmm.
Harry is born here. So at least people were a bit lenient with that. Also, okay, so he can do
Hmm.
that. He can carry on with pretending they are still royals. But I think this has gone a step too far
Hmm.
because, first and foremost, the charity he's dealing with is basically a government charity. All these resources put in place and the project, this contract, the renewed contract of 3 years, a lot of money is going to come with this renewed, has been commissioned, in my way of looking at it, by who? Harry.
Hmm.
Mm.
Because there's no other royal there. So it's Harry who is there to commission this project. And when you read Hello's website, they have said we are very excited to have the Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, come to us
Unbelievable.
to unveil this 3 years project. The
Yeah.
Francis, do
project
you think also though that they would want Harry because they're sentimental? Because like Diana was part of the Halo
put that
Trust?
sent okay, but Prince William is here,
True.
who is
True.
more well placed to be at that occasion, that
True.
function,
No, that you're
commissioning
right.
the project than Prince William.
Yeah.
Prince
No,
William
you're
is
right.
Prince William is being looked at more as a person who is actually embodying Princess Diana's work and the heart and spirit more than Harry is. Because
Yeah.
Harry is all about singing about his mother. In fact, many people are looking at this as Prince Harry trying to cash in on Princess Diana's legacy. Okay.
Hmm.
But Prince William was the best candidate, the best royal to be in Angola, speaking to the Angolan president, commissioning this
Hmm.
3 year project of whatever the landmines in Angola, and
But William wouldn't probably even go there because you said there's controversy now with the Halo Trust. So I'm sure he wouldn't even go if they invited him.
well, even before they thought about sending Harry there, William would have gone because
You think
William.
so? Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
since William hasn't gone and they've chosen Harry, I think this is a project that is trying to soft launch Harry back in.
Okay.
And I think because it's away from British soils, it is a very good trial for him because there are not going to be any demonstrations set up on the streets or anything like that. So there
Hmm.
is a bit of a trial. But what is very painful, like Catherine mentioned earlier, is this half-in thing, which was refused. They said no to it in those Balmoral summits. And the reason why Prince Harry left and Meghan, that freedom flight, was because they said no to the half in, half out.
Hmm.
So for these half in, half out requests being granted now, even before the apologies come in, right after that BBC interview where there was a lot of whinging and disrespecting of the king and everything, it is very absurd. Very
Oh,
It,
absurd.
it's really obscene. I find that capacity to accommodate someone who has publicly humiliated the king. He's publicly humiliated his father. He said in the interview, "Oh, I know my father could have done something about it. He needs to step aside and let the professionals deal with this." That is challenging his father's authority.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
really high stakes, and the girls are talking in the chat about the fact that Harry disallowed the British press in at that event in Angola. So what sort
Oh,
of
I didn't know that.
representative? Yeah,
I,
what
I
sort of
and I don't think
representative
it's
is
Harry.
he?
Yeah, and I don't think it's Harry per se who refused the British media from going there because
Okay.
this is this is an occasion hosted by the British embassy there. So Harry has no right to stop British media or media from going in. I think this is what I think. They wanted to limit British media there from sharing more of that. Okay. As I say, this to me looks like a trial thing.
Hmm.
This looks to be like a setup. They are very much aware of Harry being there. They are soft launching him. So they of course know when the British media go there, they are going to
Hmm.
report
Right.
negatively about it. And so I think the, the directives of no British media being part of this is coming from here, from the government, or from
Oh
Well,
well,
I don't think I
yeah.
don't think Harry single-handedly can turn around and say no British
Well
media on this
said.
event. It's not his event. It is a government event. So how can he stop the British
but
media
Francis,
Oh,
I
from
also think
covering a
when,
government event?
but Francis, I think also when the Queen passed away, in
Yeah,
Harry and Meghan's mind, the Sandringham Summit passed away with it, and we
yeah,
can just do as we please
yeah.
good
with all
point.
the stuff that they've done.
Good
It's like,
point. Yeah.
well, the Queen is gone now. Dad, Pa, King Charles is king, and he's softer in his approach than other people in the family are. Let me
Mm,
see what I can get. That's how
mm.
I see it.
It is
So,
very bad because it still comes back to this young man feeling always entitled and he gets what he
yeah,
wants.
but
Well,
he's been that way since he
he's,
was
he's
a
got what he
kid.
wanted, yes. And the fact that they can leak these photographs as well, because I don't think the royal family is the one that leaked those photos because they would have nothing to gain out of those photos being seen. I think this leaking comes from the Sussex camp because they want to show the whole world that, hey, listen, we are still in very much. We can
Well,
even
maybe. Well,
leak.
I'll play devil's advocate though. Maybe the photographs came out because they wanted something, and the king said no to something. So it's like, all right, you know what? We're going to leak these photos because we're not getting what we want. Despite it
Yeah,
could be either way. They're
but they
crazy,
wouldn't
both of
have
them.
been sent to Angola if they had gone
That's
against
right. True.
if they had gone against the what how do I call it? The arrangements that had put in place. Queen Elizabeth said, for example, I'm going to meet. You remember when they brought what was it? Lilibet, was it birthday back? And they say no photographs should ever
Right,
surface
right,
of the Queen and Lilibet or
right.
anything like that.
They wanted photos of her, and
Yeah,
the Queen said no.
and those
Yes.
photographs have never, and I don't think they even took any of
They didn't
those.
take
I
anything. She
don't
said
think they
no.
took any.
They
Exactly.
don't take
No.
So,
anything. She
yeah,
said
so
no.
in a
Right.
meeting like this one, which was meant to be a secret peace summit, I'm sure there should have been a clause somewhere to say these photographs shouldn't be leaked. Nobody should know about this. Okay. But again, what happens? Photos are leaked and nothing happens. So this is a Harry who gets whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's
this
why
is
I
why
think
they
the
are going
king
to look
is
at
playing.
this government as a weak government.
Yep.
And yeah, we just have to wait and hope that, William can change things, become a
But you
bit.
know what, Francis? I think Harry, he knows, obviously, 'cause his father, he knows his father's weaknesses, and he
Yeah.
plays on it.
Oh, just like, yeah, little ones. When
Hmm.
you've got little ones and they know where you are,
Yeah,
where your
he knows, like,
weakness
his
is,
father has
they
a
play
soft
by
spot for
that.
him, no
Yes, yeah.
matter what he says, what he
Okay.
does,
Yeah, and as a
so
father, yeah, and as a parent, you get to a certain stage where I think you just want to make peace
You
with,
just,
with your
that's right. You
sons,
just want,
and
go
I think that's
away,
where
go away.
and
he,
he's older
that's,
and he's ill now,
yeah, yeah.
so
So he's got to that stage and say, you know what, everybody else can say what they think about me. I just want to make peace with these two boys before I hand over this, and I just
mhm.
live peacefully. I think
But
this is.
who is it?
Francis, do you
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
think that William knew about the meeting? What's your thoughts about that?
True, good question.
Good question there. So I was reading this article a few days ago, and I think it was in the Daily Mail. I wish I could pull it up. And they were saying
That's waiting.
William was very happy, was supportive. This is how they put it. William was very supportive of his father ahead of these meetings, and he would have trusted uh, everything to go as his father wanted. And so, although his team did not be part of those meetings, he had all the support for his father throughout whatever was going to be discussed. This was the article saying
Was
so.
that what? Where was that article,
So
Francis?
Prince, yeah, it was in the Daily Mail. I'll try
Daily
and
Mail.
pull
Okay,
it out. Yes, Daily
all right.
Mail. I will
I'll
put it
try and
out.
read it.
But yeah, yes, that William would have been very supportive of his father ahead of these meetings. Although his team was not part of it, he was very much aware that everything was going to go as his father wanted, and he respects and whatever his father's decisions. So to me, that is very telling of, William was aware. And
Hmm.
how I'm interpreting it is that, okay, William's team was not there anyway. What would it be doing there? Because this is King Charles, is the king, is the one in power. So we are not having two opposing teams sit there. So William stayed out of it because he's also preparing his reign, because his reign is going to be a William's reign. He doesn't want to get
Hmm.
caught up in these controversies and people saying he's also part of all of these arrangements we see taking place. So he's being very intelligent here. Don't forget, he's a very, very good man in having that sense of judgment. So he's looking far and distancing himself. He's concentrating on his next steps, his perspectives. He's already told us where he sits when he becomes king with the Church of England, all of these things. He told us he wants to do things differently. He's been telling us all of those things in
Hmm.
those articles, that we are having a William who will be doing things differently. Now I'm looking at that as he is not going to be following all of these things that his dad is doing, because I don't think he maybe agrees with them, but he is very respectful that his father is the king. So let his father make his decisions. He will make his when the time comes.
But I do think Harry's trying to get back in
So
before
he will
Charles
get back
Science
in, which is
passes.
going to become very hard for William,
Yeah.
To
because
get rid of him.
for
Yes.
William again to push Harry out when he's let back in, is going to be a very big tug of war, you know.
I think, see, didn't we read reports a few months back that William has changed his legal team and
Yes, I remember that.
he now has a different firm representing him,
Yes.
and
And
that a lot of people
he
were
hired
wondering,
somebody who had called out
yeah,
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry for their
yeah,
bullying.
and so
Okay.
people felt that was flagging the way things were going to go with William, that he is going to maybe
Then,
make some big moves.
yeah, and he's not scared to take steps forward. And he's
Mm,
well, we have seen his relationship with Harry, growing up. He's always been the don't do that, don't do that. That doesn't
Hmm.
look good at all, you know. And
Yeah.
right from the onset, telling Harry, how could you get involved with this woman you've just seen barely
Mm.
weeks ago, and now you want to propose and get married? That's not right. So we have seen a William already who has a very different mindset and who fully understands
But I
what his
think
brother
if
is.
Harry's let back in, but I think he won't be allowed like to be in public, like do public duties. That's my thing. Is he coming
mm.
back just for he stays in Windsor Castle? He's kind of behind the scenes, but he's not in public. I wonder if King Charles wants him to be back into the public role because the public will not like that at all.
These
They
are the
won't.
difficult decisions that that are going to be made now. He has, if he's serving the UK government, if he's working, even if it's one step in, one step out, they have to give him accommodation here. Okay,
Hmm.
they have to start opening up all these lines of communication with him
But
because
Francis, I shouldn't say not just Harry, but Meghan also. My thing is
she'll
Meghan.
come back. She'll come back in the picture 100%. I know she is.
Sorry, my dog. Lisa's barking at someone at the door. Sorry.
Hmm.
How adorable.
This is what I said earlier that, if you're letting back Harry, then be prepared to let Meghan Markle back in as
Yeah.
well.
And they don't want her back. The
Yeah,
public does not want her back.
yeah. Because the public
Hold
will.
on, guys. Let me just put him next to me. Maybe he'll stop barking. Hold on
Oh,
one
yeah.
moment.
Bring him. Let's say hello to him.
Come here.
Catherine, maybe show him Frankie. They will connect.
I know, I got my darling Frankie here.
Yeah,
Here
bring
he
him. Let's
is,
have a look at
our
him.
King
Yeah.
Stud. There you
Oh,
go. What's the dog's
Frankie.
name? The dog can't
Asky,
have you,
bring the
Frankie.
dog. Let them meet Frankie.
Oh, Oscar. Yes. Hold on one second. Come on. Come on, Oscar. Come here. Come. He's very.
Uh,
Come here. Come here. In a minute when he calms down.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
cute. Well, here's Frankie when
Hello,
Oscar
dear
comes
friends in
on.
the comments. How are you? We miss you all. Thank you so much for lighting up our comments section. You are wonderful as always. Please don't forget to like this video, share it so we can get people to see these messages because I think the public need to tune in more into these conversations and
Mm,
share their opinions as well.
mm.
Catherine there from Australia
Yeah.
has got her channel, Royal Australian, doing great work with, showcasing the great work of the royal family. She is a very strong uh, fan of Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Queen Elizabeth,
Mm-hmm.
and Queen
Yeah.
Catherine.
Mm.
And we've got our lovely Aspie all the
Thank
way
I
from
you.
know.
New
It's so
York.
exciting.
Aspie is a very big member of this Royal News channel. She's been with us from day one, always lighting up
Yes.
the comments section. I'm quite sure they are missing you in the comments now, Aspie.
This is the
Yeah.
dog.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, so
so
sweet.
cute. That's
Thank
lovely.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, our dear friends in the comments, Stedman, Elisa, Joe, and we've got Foxy now. We welcome aboard every single one of you. Lily, thank you so much for the super thanks, by the way. This is driving this channel forward in meaningful ways. Sarah, We love you all, guys. And feel free to come on with us
Mm,
anytime you want to. We can send you these links and chip in and share your thoughts. We appreciate Aspi. You thought
definitely.
incredible.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, and New York, of course, you are flying high, the flag of the royal family. Catherine, Princess of Wales, and
Mm.
William, there you
Well, if
welcome.
they come here, I'm gonna really try
Yes,
and try and meet them somehow.
yes, yeah. So, ladies, what are your final thoughts on, this Prince Harry issue with the king? And, I'll start off with you, Catherine. What are your final
Yeah.
thoughts? Hmm.
Uh, I probably have a different opinion to you, Francis. I actually think that the palace were very involved in the meeting setup,
Hmm.
and I believe that um, I'm in the minority here, but I believe that it was a setup,
Hmm.
Mm.
and was set up to make it look like um, Meghan leaked it, but I believe they leaked it. I believe
Hmm.
they slapped. And that's why you're reading, Harry's fuming. He's fuming, I tell you. He's always
Hmm.
fuming. I believe they've done this to show them who's the boss, but I believe it's part of the strategy to bring Harry back. They've
Hmm.
sprinkled the royal gold dust over him now. They knew he was going to Angola. They knew all about that.
Hmm.
And I believe it's a game of high stakes. I think the only loser in this is the king and the monarchy. Harry is going to get everything he wants.
Hmm.
And I believe the king should pay very close attention to the fact that his adored Camilla, and he does adore Camilla, and I've come around to Camilla, has been her birthday. She's on one of the front pages, but essentially, Harry now has overshadowed the Queen's birthday. And
Hmm.
let's not forget that the last day of the coming Invictus Games, it clashes with the Queen's 80th birthday. So
Mm.
nothing has changed.
Hmm.
Nothing has changed. But the King is a father. He's very ill. That's all I'll say on that subject. I don't want to make assumptions. But I feel there are some big mistakes being made here, and I think that the clean-up team are going to be the whales.
Hmm.
Yes.
Hmm.
Mm.
And Aspi, my lovely, what are you?
I do believe the meeting was to get Harry back in.
Hmm.
I just have that sense. First, I thought, oh, maybe it was money. They wanted something.
Hmm.
No, I have this feeling that they're slowly trying to bring him back in. I
Hmm.
don't know if Megan's going to come. I don't
Hmm.
know if she's going to be a part because she said she would never come back to the UK. Who knows? But he wants to come back, definitely. And
Hmm.
Charles, I feel, is slowly going to bring him back
Hmm.
into the fold.
Hmm.
The public won't like it, but
No.
not
No.
at all. So
No.
they're going to get a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even people that supported the royal family will be
Hmm.
like, why should I support this when this man, meaning Harry, has trashed the family, his father, his brother, his sister in law, everyone else, the queen, the late queen, and you're bringing him back in? But
Hmm.
like Catherine was saying, Charles is very, well, he's ill. We don't know how ill he is. And he
Hmm.
wants to see his son, he wants
Hmm.
to see the grandkids.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I think is what's horrible is Harry is using those children as
Yeah.
like chess pieces.
Hmm.
Mm.
Like you won't see your grandchildren unless you do this for me or you do that for me. And it's
Yeah.
horrible. I think that's
Yeah.
horrible. But
It's just gonna use the royal family even more now.
because
Uh,
he's never seen Lily, I think one time, if he did allegedly, saw
yeah.
Lily only one time
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And
during the Platinum Jubilee.
there are talks that behind the scenes, Harry is trying to push for King Charles to take a photograph with Lily and Archie,
Mm-hmm.
at either Balmoral or wherever over the summer, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So all of this, I think, is because
Hmm.
these children sit on the, on the line of
Mm-hmm.
success. So this could well happen. We could soon see. We've always been reading about
Hmm.
King Charles.
When do they usually go to Balmoral? It's like usually the end of August, beginning of
Yes,
September.
yeah,
Okay.
beginning of
Mm.
September for the
Mm.
summer break. So there
We
are
have to see
talks
what
that we
happens.
could see. So I think that is going to be the piece that
Hmm.
will bring all of this together. If we see those kids here, take that photo with King Charles. So we will start, I think from then we will start to see a Harry re-emerge.
Hmm.
The big problem here, and I agree with all of your thoughts. Catherine, you had that very wonderful angle as well, the palace leaking this photograph. It's really good to see it in that sense because
Well, I
they
think
maybe it
I
was a
I
testing.
think it was
It
a
was,
setup because
mm,
they knew she was going to do it. I think
mm,
so. They set it up and they
mm,
made it look like she did do it.
Or
mm,
maybe playing one
Yeah,
step ahead, like
yeah,
where,
yeah.
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 This
So
is
they are, they
really
are
high
now,
stakes game.
but the problem with that is if you start playing into these mind games, it's very easy to make mistakes and to be seen as, incompetent because a fool shouldn't make you become a fool as well. So if we are playing with their, if they start playing these games with the Sussexes, I think it's not gonna look good. The royal family needed to stay in their lane, maintain their silence, maintain their away.
But Francis,
That
also,
the
I
noise.
believe they're running out of money.
Hmm,
They're starting to run out. Whatever money they had,
hmm, hmm.
I think it's starting to run out. So maybe
So
he
Harry
wants to
is
come
very
back.
desperate now. Come back and get these, that's the one foot in, one foot out. But regardless of whether he's running out of money or what, he shouldn't be let back in. The king could maybe galvanize money from somewhere and send it and let them go, without even us knowing.
Hmm.
But the fact that they are letting him in the way they are, it's gonna make things more complicated. And I
Yeah.
think for me personally, I don't want them back because this is gonna destroy Catherine's confidence as well.
Mm, mm,
Because we have
mm.
seen a Catherine grow in confidence. She steps out, she's doing her job uninterrupted. Now bring Meghan Markle back into the frame. We are going to see this small competition that was going on. Meghan Markle competing against Catherine, and then they making each other cry, and all these funny
Well, I
stories.
just think Megan's jealousy, though, of and Harry too,
So you
of the
don't want
Waleses
people like
is,
that. You
Mm.
don't want people like that close to your inside here. So it's like backtracking and bringing all those weevils back in that they had weeded out. It's not looking good. I
well, I
don't.
don't know if Prince William will let them near his family. Who knows?
But what
That's
can
what
he do
happened.
if the king says yes? It
True.
is his
No, you're
reign.
right. You're right.
William has to wait for his reign.
Right.
Because the last thing we want to see is William and the king falling out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last thing we want to see because then that will mean it's done. It's done. We
Yeah.
want that unity. People are so fed up of these politicians and what's going on
Mm-hmm.
there. They were looking at the royal family as their safe space to come and
Right.
hide.
Yeah.
So if we start getting these wars within the royal family and the falling out, and everybody's just gonna say, right, where can we go now?
Hmm.
Okay. So,
Francis, can I ask you a question? If
mm,
Harry gets half back in, like Fergie is, she goes to events. Do you recall? I think it was Easter,
mm,
and Andrew went to church, but the Wales weren't there. They went
yes,
spent Easter with her family, which is fair call.
yes.
This is going to be interesting to observe if he is allowed to attend some of these family church events, etc. I don't think William will attend if Harry's there.
This is it.
What's your
Hmm.
thoughts?
Exactly. That's where things are going to get more complicated. Okay, because look at how Catherine behaved around Meghan Markle. When they came for that walk. What
Mm,
what was it? they called it the shortly after the death of Queen Elizabeth, and
Yeah.
that they walked down to the flowers, and Meghan Markle looked like the ground was about to swallow her, and the
Mm.
look they gave each other, it was visibly uncomfortable. Okay, so can you imagine them coming to events like, walking to Sandringham to church? Because if Harry's allowed back in, there's no way they can turn around and say you're back in, but you can't come to the Sandringham meetings or the church
Mm.
meetings. So if you accept somebody and you've accepted them back, okay, so
But the trust will be gone, Francis. Nobody will
the
trust
trust
them.
the trust was already gone. But look, he's back in. He's in Angola. He's mixing with
Mm,
politicians. He's
yeah,
is at the British embassies, all of that. These places are highly classified places where there is a lot
yeah.
of information about government, the king, their statements,
Mm.
everything is done, but he's allowed back in there. So this trust thing that we have
Mm.
always been talking about has all of a sudden been regained.
That's very worrying. That's
it's
very
very worrying.
worrying.
Yeah. So it is not looking good for royalists out there. All I can say in this live stream, of course, we can talk about these thoughts,
Mm.
share our
Hmm.
understanding, and try to make sense of these things. But the real decisions are made by them. So we hope those advising the king are really advising him well, and we hope he puts emotions aside and starts
Well,
making
his,
decisions very carefully. Okay.
but you know what, Francis, Harry's adventure, I guess you would call it, to the
Yeah.
States, it failed.
Mm.
He thought it would be like paradise here, be like almost like be treated like a king and queen in the United States. That failed. Their business ventures pretty much flopped.
Yeah.
So what do they have left but to go back home?
Yeah.
Well, for Harry, I should say.
Well,
Meghan will just suck it up, I guess.
so Catherine actually Aspie there makes a good point, and we can summarize by saying that maybe we have a change to Harry, but once a weaver, you're always going to be a weaver. There's that saying. But let's hope he has learned his lessons and he has seen that it's not easy out there. He
Mm.
cannot, this dream life he was hoping that he was going to create and this big brand
Hmm.
was just an illusion.
Yeah.
He is a nobody and he can't succeed on his own. He has always to have the support of the royal family.
Mm.
So let's hope he's coming back. He's learned his lessons, and maybe behind the scenes, he has pledged to his father, to the royal family, that listen, I'm back in, you're never gonna see the other side of me again. Maybe I wasn't in the right space. And at the time I was misled into doing certain things. Maybe he's apologized behind the scenes. We don't know, because that apology
But what about
sometimes
Meghan? That's
doesn't need
that's the
to
thing.
be in
What about her?
public. So we really hope they
Yeah.
have done something together
I
with
hope
Meghan
so.
Markle. But if things don't go as they are supposed to when it gets back, and they have to go back out again,
Mm.
it is going to be really, really bad,
Oh
really
yeah.
bad. It.
Oh, I don't think he's going to be able to help himself, Francis.
Mm, mm,
He won't. Because what'll happen is he's not going to get his own way with his brother, and that's going to eat away at him. And his brother will do or say something, and he'll take it personally. He'll do or say something that may not even have anything to do with Harry, but Harry will take it personally, and it'll be on. He'll be leaking to the press. He'll be giving the press
Mm,
stories,
yeah.
and he'll be doing what Diana did with Charles. So
mm.
he's not going to be able to help himself. He can't help himself.
And
He
his
can't.
wife too. Both of
Yeah,
them.
That's right.
and
Both of
his
them.
That's
wife
right.
too. Yeah, we're gonna see
Because
Oh,
she
this again.
controls him. She's like,
She does, yeah.
the
So
hostage and
she's
the
not there.
handler.
There's been a talk. I'm thinking Meghan Markle would have loved to be the one walking the minefield with that outfit
Of
of
course she
his.
would have.
I'm really,
She wore the same outfit as Princess Diana did.
I'm
if she
really
could.
thinking that maybe she was fighting too hard to play that role, to walk. She would have loved to walk that path.
Outfit, shoes, and
But
all. She would want to do it exactly the same.
yeah,
She's sick.
She's so sick.
She's sick in
yeah,
the head.
yeah. Well, ladies, it's been lovely having
Yes,
you
thank you
here
for having me.
on the show. We
Sorry
have
for the barking before. He's just being a
no,
dog.
no. It's all part of the fun. It's all part
Yeah.
of the
Yeah, same here.
yeah.
My phone nearly died earlier, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not very well set up today. My apologies, everyone.
And
It's
oh
so
dear,
beautiful to chat and connect with you, as
Thank
I was going to
you.
say,
it's
yeah,
been
SB,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Thank
those
you.
beautiful cookies you sent us, Aspi. Oh,
Oh,
lovely. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Well,
Yeah.
for Christmas, I'll be sending you something else again.
Oh,
So
yes. And Foxy the enthusiast, I'm going to tune into your channel, Foxy. Thank you so much for coming
does
along
Foxy
here.
have a channel?
he does.
Yeah,
He
yes.
does.
I'm going to tune into
Oh,
that, Foxy. Yes, yeah.
Tell Foxy to put up the link if he's still there.
Oh, Foxy, please share the link to your channel in the. I don't know if links are allowed in the comments
Oh,
here,
okay.
but
I'll give it to you.
Aspi will
I'll give
share
it to you.
it with
I'll
us.
give it to you
Yes,
guys.
yes. Thank
yeah,
you,
because I'll
everyone.
join.
Yes,
I'll hook up with you. I'll subscribe to your
yes.
YouTube
Subscribe
as
to
well.
the YouTube channel. Yes, yeah.
Mm.
Well, there's a lot. Before we finish,
Yeah.
briefly, I would like to talk about Donald Trump, who is going to be visiting in
Yes,
September.
he
Yeah,
is.
is coming to see King Charles. Sadly, we heard that around that time, what was going to happen? He's not going to be addressing the UK Parliament because usually when they visit,
Hmm.
presidents address the Parliament, don't they? But this time, I think Donald won't address the UK Parliament because they are going to be on recess. They will be in holiday
Yeah.
somehow.
Maybe he purposely did that because,
So yeah,
yeah.
but I think he will have something recorded for to play
True.
when Parliament resumes. But he's coming here in September. The dates have been
I'm
announced.
looking forward to it.
So looking forward
I'm
to
definitely going to be looking at that.
yes.
Donald Trump
Because
has a huge soft spot for the royal family.
he
So,
has. He has absolutely. If there's anyone else out there that I know has been praising the royal family, especially the king, sorry, the queen, he is so loved with
yes, he really
yeah.
respected her.
Yeah, and when he met with Prince William, I think they met
Yes.
somewhere. I remember
He met with him at Notre Dame when they reopened Notre Dame Cathedral in
um,
Paris,
absolutely,
and he had nothing but good things to say about him.
absolutely, yeah. So it is going to be great. I think I'll be covering that. I'll try and go down
Yeah.
to sort of cover that because I love a bit of royal pom pom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
you're
it.
so
Well,
lovely,
Donald Trump's
Francis.
mother was from Scotland, so that's why he
So there, yeah, they've got
he
some
has a
land.
very soft
Yeah,
spot for
that's
the
his
royal family.
heritage, actually. Yes,
His
yeah.
mom is
He's
from Scotland.
yeah. He loves to go there and play golf.
Yes, he owns a place. I forgot where. It's somewhere higher up in Scotland, I believe. It's a golf
Yes,
course with a hotel.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I forgot the name of it though.
So we are looking forward to that visit from Donald Trump, September. What else? The royal family is gonna go into a summer break.
Yeah, to go to Balmoral.
They haven't released the list of royals that are going to be at Balmoral, but usually they release that list
Now,
before.
Francis, quick question
Yes.
with that.
Mm.
The Balmoral actual castle, the estate, I know they've
Yeah,
opened it more up for people to visit.
to
So
rent
when
it.
when
They
they
did.
go to vacation, is it separate from that place now?
Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay.
separate. Yeah, it's
It's
separate.
Okay.
Yes, and for the first time in how many years, King Charles has actually given one of the cottages in Balmoral Estate up for rent.
Really? Okay.
So you can rent it for the period that you're gonna visit, and I think up to 3 months or something like that. It's never happened
Yeah.
before, but this is
I
the
want to
royal
visit
family
Balmoral.
is starting to open up slightly. Okay, to the
Because
public.
Francis, I was supposed to visit Balmoral like in December because they have some tickets in December of
Yeah.
2022, but then the
Mm.
Queen passed away and they
Oh,
shut Balmoral
yeah.
Castle down, so I
Yeah,
didn't
so
get to visit.
Yeah. Next
Yeah.
time we intend to visit, let us know. Maybe we can do a
Yeah.
coffee or up in
Yeah.
London and say
Hmm.
hi. I know
Yes.
Catherine was meant to come for the
Mm.
King's birthday parade, but obviously a few things came up.
Yeah.
But Catherine will still be planning to come,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think, next
No,
year's
definitely.
trooping.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try and
Yeah.
come next
Yeah.
year to the
Oh,
trooping too. I'm gonna
Really?
please.
try. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
So
This
that
Yeah.
is
would be
great.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Catherine, please uh, kindly allow me to highlight the poll that you conducted on your channel. It was a very lovely.
Oh, yeah. I was a bit
I,
surprised because nothing,
mm,
when I put anything up with um, the Harkles, I call them, on my community page. I just use the community page a bit like a magazine front page. But I
yes.
did a poll, and I'm aware though that the people that are subscribed to my channel are royalists, okay? But
Mm.
not
Yes.
everyone agrees with your opinion. Not every people hold different opinions.
Mm.
But it's had this as of this morning. It's had over 500 votes
Votes.
and
Yes.
votes over it's had about 520 the last I looked, and over 90% don't want him back,
Harry
don't
back.
want Harry back. It was
Yeah.
asking, do you want Harry back? Yes or no, or maybe with conditions.
What was the
90% 90% don't want him back.
right?
I think they've gone
That's
to
to be
91.
expected.
Yeah, I think they've now gone to 91%, say they don't want him
Yeah,
back.
really. Okay, so some
Yes.
more
That's to
votes.
be
That'll
expected.
tick over.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So I thought I would, I remember to highlight that
thank
and say
you.
thank you for that poll. That is the only way we get to learn about how
Yeah.
this Harry picture is looking like in the face of everybody. Because
Well, it's
500
easy to
votes,
forget. It's
yeah,
easy to
is
forget that people have a different opinion to you. You think
yes,
everyone thinks like you, but they don't. I'm
yeah,
shocked by that. I
yes.
literally am.
Yeah, it really, really reflects public opinion. And I think this is why I said the king, royal family needs to be researching and looking at these polls that are being conducted online, including that YouGov, which is very popular.
But
Because they
Francis,
are,
I think they do see the polls, but
mm,
he's just gonna make up his mind no matter what to
I
do.
think it's made up now. I
It's
think,
made up.
mm,
yeah,
It's kind
mm.
of it's like the public's just gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how I see what's gonna
But
happen.
if you're looking for longevity, you have to really tune into public opinion, and
yeah.
if
Oh,
you
I
look,
agree with you, but I just don't think he sees it that way. That's just
mm,
how I see.
mm.
Mm.
So
But anyway, we hope
okay.
one day things
All right, my
All
get to
right.
darling.
change for
Thank
the
you for having
better.
me on.
But thank
Oh,
you, guys. We need to do this often because our friends
Yes.
miss us, and we will hopefully have them in
I
here with
loved
us.
it.
Because I think
Yeah.
StreamYard can take on up to 15, 20 people. I don't know. But
Oh, have a
we would love to
party.
build
Oh, that
this.
would be great. I would love that.
Yeah. But thank you so much. Take
All
care,
right.
every one of
See
you,
Bye.
you
and we'll
all.
catch up again
Bye.
very soon.
Bye.
Bye.
That was wonderful, Francis.
Yeah.
Yeah.